Hi, everybody, and welcome into NFL Live. Trey Wingo is here. Tim Hasselbeck is here. And there is my man, the Herminator. Herm, what was it like actually watching the game?
Well, that was some bad highlights right there. You know what I noticed right away about watching this game?
Yeah.
A lot of people on the sideline that had nothing to do with the game. That's for sure, but really very entertaining game. But it goes back to the same old deal. Whether it's a Super Bowl preseason game, championship game, you got to block, you got to tackle, you got to run, and you got to catch the ball, and you got to kick.
That is true. Your dad and your brother also played on Super Sunday. And by the way, you watched it. You were not alone. Super Bowl 44, now the most watched television show in the history of the medium, surpassing the series finale of MASH set back in 1983. Super Bowl 44, good game with a pretty good finishing kick. We should have known right away the Saints wore white. They were going to win. With their win on Sunday, the last 6 Super Bowl champs have all won white come Super Sunday. The Colts still decided to show up. There was Dwight Freeney starting early. He was pretty effective early on.
Yeah, early on, he looked like that ankle was fine, really rushing the passer with some aggression and getting some pressure at times. But Drew Brees here able to get through his progression and get the ball out in the flat. But you see Freeney does not look like his ankle was bothering him earlier in the game.
Started with a couple of 3-and-outs they did, and one of them because of this drop by Marcus Colston. Herm, you got to make that catch.
Yeah, and this is anxiety. Opening drive, not looking the ball in.
And then the Colts began to work it a little bit, starting with the running game. Joseph Adai up the middle for 16 yards. 2 plays later, Adai one more time, gashing him for another 11-yard gain. And then 3 plays later on a 3rd one, Joseph Adai busted up the gut. The longest tackle of his run of his season for 26 yards. Darren Sharper, Herm, what's he doing here?
Well, dropped his head. And you cannot drop your head tackle. You got to keep your head up, eyes up, make the tackle. And Adai does a great job of protecting the ball.
And that, as they say, led to this on 3rd and 6. Manning to Pierre Garçon. Touchdown, it's 10-0. And that, Tim, you got the feeling, oh, the Colts are rolling.
Oh, absolutely. Peyton Manning really looked sharp throughout that drive. And as you look at it here, he recognizes Usama Young in the game for Jabari Greer, who was injured to play earlier. And they have a vice on Pierre Garçon. Roman Harper, the safety, is going to look up any in-breaking route, but because of the poor jam, they just split the double team with Pierre Garçon running vertical, and Peyton Manning delivers a perfect throw.
That's a 96-yard touchdown drive, tied for the longest in Super Bowl history. Then the second quarter, the Saints were moving, and Dwight Freeney just bull rushes Jermon Bushrod and takes him down for the sack.
And that's what you call a bull rush. And really, you got to set yourself left tackle, and you got to use the chipper to your left side. That didn't happen. Sack.
One-handed takedown. They had to settle for a field goal. So now, here we go. And this might have been the key of the game. That was a 3rd down. Pierre Garçon drops it. Would have been a 1st down. Could have run forever. Maybe they go up 13 or 17-3. Instead, they're forced to punt. And after the punt, Brees to Marcus Colston. This one, he does not drop. Down to the 3-yard line, 27-yard gain. Then it set up this really interesting situation. 3rd and goal. They try to give it to Mike Bell. Kelvin Hayden comes up and stuffs him on 4th and goal. Sean Payton, always gambling, goes for it. And Thomas gets the handoff, but the Colts are there denying them, Tim, on 4th and goal.
Great job of Clint Sessions and Gary Brackett filling to the hole and making a play on Pierre Thomas.
Okay, but they do get a field goal after an exchange, and then to start the second half, a surprise onside kick. Now, Hank Baskett for the Colts is there. He's a receiver, but it bounces off his helmet. The scrum took forever here, but it was a great play.
Yeah, great play. And what you always tell your front line guys is see the ball kick. Hank Baskett left way too early and allowed this to happen to him. And now he feels like the flyer's going to hit him, and he's trying to get down low and catch the ball. Great call by Sean Payton.
It took forever for them to finally make a decision. I think that ball must have changed hands 5 times in that scrum somewhere. And then the screen pass, which is what they do so well, Tim, to Pierre Thomas.
Yeah, and it's because they have big, athletic offensive linemen that block well out in space. Stinchcomb, Goodwin, Jeremy Shockey getting in the mix. Excellent job of blocking down the field.
Saints take the lead 13-10. And throws like this one, that's why you try the onside kick. You can't make that throw any better to Dallas Clark.
And he found found a little bitty window to throw that in.
And then Joseph Adai, I tell you, he was on pace to be the MVP of this game had the Colts won it. A run up the middle, touchdown, and just like that, the Manning family celebrates. They're back on top, 17-13. Then in the fourth quarter, Colts 4th and 2. This time they're going for it on 4th and 2, and their bread and butter play, the little quick slant to Reggie Wayne, gain of 14, but they fail to capitalize because on 4th and 11, questionable decision here to go for a 51-yard field goal.
Listen, at this point in his career for Matt Stover, that's a long kick in a big spot. I think Peyton Manning knows they really made a mistake there.
Yeah,
gave up field position.
Exactly, and boy, did Drew Brees make them pay. One more time to Colson. That's good coverage. That's just a perfect throw for a first down. Later, 2nd and 4, David Thomas, the former Patriot tight end, gets into the act. A lot of missed tackles in this game for Indianapolis. And then Jeremy Shockey from the U for the touchdown. Brees 7 of 7 on the drive. They up by 5. They're going for 2 to Lance Moore. Originally ruled no-go, but Sean Payton challenges, and it turned out to be an excellent challenge.
An excellent challenge by Sean Payton because the ball looks like it comes out early, but clearly Lance Moore has possession of the football, and he has it crossing the plane to the goal line.
So with 5:42 left, they're up by 7, and then the play that will be remembered forever in both cities. Tracy Porter, pick 6, 74 yards to the house. Bad throw perhaps by Payton. Tim, what did you think of this play?
I did not like the route of Reggie Wayne. You're going to see him at the top of this route really chop his feet. And Tracy Porter is able to jump the route and really run the route better than Reggie Wayne, and that's why he's off to the races.
And that was it. 74 yards. That really put the game away. Now, Payton did bring them back down the field. They got to about the 5-yard line with about a minute to go, and then on 4th and 2, not the best day for Reggie Wayne. Listen, it might not have mattered, but that one went right through his hands. It would have cut it to 1 score, and then you go for an onside kick. Instead, it was Gatorade shower time, and for the 44th year in New Orleans franchise history, they win Super Bowl 44. Drew Brees, your MVP.
Just knowing the culmination of all the hard work and all the, adversity and resiliency that we've shown as a team and our city's shown, it's really, really special.
Brees was magnificent. He just played so well, so efficient. I thought we blocked him pretty good. We gave him time. We had the 1 sack, but this is pretty strong right here. Can't describe how it feels.
When you're able to win a trophy, a Super Bowl, for a city that needed something like this, that's part of the rebuilding process of a city that was destroyed, it makes it that much more special.
I give the Saints a lot of credit. They played well in all phases, made some critical plays on special teams. Defense made stops when they had to, and Drew did a good job getting his team in the end zone. They deserve to win today.
I told our guys that our head may be bloody but unbowed, so they're proud of the way they fought all year long. They did a great job of representing our franchise and organization. Did a tremendous job during the regular season, but you don't get any trophies for regular season. So we're going to take our disappointment and let it fuel us a little bit and see what 2010 brings us.
Well, I don't think Jim Caldwell and the Colts would be disappointed if they played 4 quarters like they played the first. They outscored the Saints 10-0 in that first quarter, but after that, Indy's offense could only manage 7 more points in the final 3 quarters. The defense wasn't any better as the Saints did not punt on their last 7 possessions. And that might have been the most surprising thing about Super Bowl 44, Tim, because of the way the Colts defense played. Listen, the Saints, who are a pretty good running team, could not run the ball at all. Only 51 yards on Super Sunday. And it didn't matter because with very little pressure, Drew Brees carved him up.
Yeah, when you mentioned very little pressure, and that certainly is key for Drew Brees and really any offense, but they protected him well, and they also used formations to get good matchups against that zone coverage that the Indianapolis Colts were running. You're going to see here Jeremy Shockey, the lone receiver down the bottom of the screen, covered by a corner. It's zone coverage here. That's going to put Marcus Colston, the Saints' best receiver, matched up in zone coverage on a linebacker. This is stealing for Drew Brees. Just a little option route on 3rd down. He's able to fall forward for the first down. Again, 3-by-1 set, Jeremy Shockey down on the bottom, a corner down to that side. It's zone coverage again. There's Colston, the inside receiver up top. He's going to have a linebacker trying to relate to him in zone coverage. Can't stay with him. He's able to pick up a big completion to get down into scoring range. Really an excellent job of designing plays by Sean Payton. One of those same exact look led to Jeremy Shockey's touchdown, and obviously Drew Brees an excellent job of finding the open receiver in those situations.
Yeah, it's funny. You go over the stats. Apparently he had 7 incompletions. I don't remember them. Maybe a couple were spikes and a couple of drops. And speaking of drops, Herm, we saw some critical ones for the Indianapolis Colts, especially that one by Pierre Garçon where they could Garcon, where they could have gone up maybe 13 or 17 to 3, really changed the complexion.